It's been a massive week in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. This week we've had an update from PMDG about the 777, Black Square releases their latest study at Level Baron, Sim Update 12 has been released, and what's after this latest update? We have a World Update 13 and also Sim Update 13 have now been announced as well. We have all the latest release news and announcements, so let's jump into the video. Before we jump into the video, if you're as mad about flight simulation as much as we are here on the channel, hit that subscribe button. This way we can let you know when our next video about flight simulation is out. Just under 70% of the people that watch the Oz Flight Simmer channel are not subscribed yet. By hitting the subscribe button, it shows us you like the content we create and we will keep making more the stuff that you want to see. Thank you very much for your support. Kicking off with this week's previews and announcements, Black Box Simulations last year announced they were in development with the Short 330. Since then we haven't heard much about the project, however the team have been involving the Short and is now happy to share some more updated screenshots. Black Box plans to bring not only the Short 330 but they plan to bring the 360 and the C-23 Shepherd as well. Black Box has mentioned that they aim to bring the most authentic flight model possible to the Short, and they have even hinted about this being a study level. Everything in the cockpit will work. We are expecting the package to include both passenger versions and cargo versions of the 330 and the 360, and all the three variants of the Shepherd should be included in the package. This project is about to start its beta testing phase with a few selected pilots, and the team have hinted we may see a release of the Short in a few short weeks. Azure Poly has released a new trailer of its Transel C-160 military transport aircraft. So far the team have been focusing on smaller aircraft such as the TB-30 and also the Fugger CM-170. This time they're electing for something a little bit bigger. Azure Poly has emphasized they have focused on performance with their aircraft, and it will work with simmers on low-end PCs and also consoles very well, despite having high quality graphics. At this stage we're not sure what level of detail we'll see for system-wise of the aircraft, but the team suggested the C-160 will release within a few weeks. The team has also confirmed we will see simultaneously a release on both PC and console when it comes to the C-160. Leonardo Software, the team behind Fly the Mad Dog X, have announced they will be releasing an expansion pack for the MD82 product, which will release as the MD83 and 88 expansion. The 83 is the longer variant of the 82, while the 88 is the last variant of the fleet, and which includes updated avionics including EFIS cockpit. With the release of the expansion, Leonardo have been updating the base package of the Fly the Mad Dog, and we should see a bunch of bug fixes and a quality of life improvements for the package. There's been no release date given just yet, but the team has mentioned the expansion is ready for launch, and by the time you watch this video, it may be released already. PMDG is back in the news again this week. Like many developers, they have released an update for the current products. The 737 current fleet for Microsoft Flight Simulator is now compatible with Sim Update 12. PMDG updated us on their EFB and mentioned they've had some joy around the development of the EFB, and now the operations tool is working normally. Charting is working okay, and there's two other core features that are now working, so things are starting to progress. 777 got a mention as well in the same blog post, and they said that the development is sailing along and they're looking forward to entering a beta testing phase very soon. The team will not be showing any beta builds to anybody outside PMDG at this stage, but they are very excited about moving to the next phase. Moving on to the 737 on Xbox, there is no ETA and when we'll see this one either, but they're still working on it. The team mentioned they expect to take their time on this one, as this is something that they have not done before. However, they aim to have all PMDG products working on Xbox and PC alike. This one just missing last week's release news, which is Vartivia, as they have released their first Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft, which is the Short Sterling. The team created this aircraft on older sim platforms such as FSX and P3D, and now brought it across to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The Sterling was used as a bomber in World War II and was found to be underpowered and had a low operating ceiling compared to other bombers at the time. The Sterling come with three variants, being the Mk1, the Mk3 and the Mk4. Each of these variants represent different manufacturers that built the aircraft at the time. Features include PBR textures, a wise sound custom pack, a large number of switches, knobs and clicks that work in the cockpit, animated cockpit windows, animated Bombay doors, and a crew ladder. You can pick up your copy of Vitavia's Sterling directly from the Sim Market store, links in the description below. Black Square have released their second product within weeks after the well-received Steam Gauge overhaul Bonanza. The team released the analog Baron this time around. Black Square's Baron brings you a completely new interior panel systems to the default G58 Baron exterior model. The package contains both the normal aspirated B58 and also the pressurized B58 with winglets. Both aircraft come with advanced engine simulations, feature-rich analog instruments, swappable radio configurations, and an overhauled electrical system with every circuit breaker, meter, switch, knob all functioning. Black Square's Baron includes the default 58 sounds, however the team have added new custom sounds such as warnings, environmental control systems, turbocharged sounds, engine and cooling and more. Over 500 checklist items have been included from normal to abnormal to emergency procedures and a 100-page detailed manual to bring you up to speed on the aircraft. Flight dynamics have been improved on the default model. As with all Black Square products, it has a numerous amount of aircraft failures, including engine damage, just to keep you on your toes. If you pick up the Black Square Bonanza a couple of weeks ago, you'll be eligible for a discount on the Baron, and you can pick up your copy from the Just Flight store, links in the description below. And just a reminder, you need to have the deluxe or premium deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator to get the default Baron 58 and the Steam Gauge overhaul to work. SoFly have released another global landings pack to their current series. This time around it is South America. The package comes with 80 various approaches and landings across South America, putting you to test for both easy and tough weather scenarios. The challenges can be taken in all sorts of aircraft, including jumbos to Cessnas. The package is spread across the whole continent and you get to see challenges in countries such as Brazil, Uruguay and Bolivia, just to mention a few. Each landing challenge includes a scoring system that allows you to peg against yourself and against your other friends as well. You can pick up your copy of SoFly's Global Landings South America directly from the SoFly or Orbex store. I'll leave a link in the description below. Microsoft this week released the famous flyer number 5, which is the Antonov AN2 alongside Sim Update 12. The AN2 is one of the largest biplanes to fly and first flew in 1947 and was produced all the way up to 2001. The aircraft was popular for both military and civilian services, and over the lifespan of the aircraft it saw many alterations with several different functions. The developer of the AN2 is AT Simulations, and they've featured a civilian version with wheels, skids and floats, and a complete with several liveries. You can pick up your copy of the AN2 for both Xbox and PC directly from the InSim marketplace. A big thank you to Protest Sims for sponsoring this YouTube video. Their products enhance your current flight simulator hardware by turning your flight controls into something closer to the real thing. The team makes different add-ons for flight controls such as Honeycomb, SciTech and Velocity over a variety of different aircraft, including Boeing, BAE, Cessna Citation, VisionJet, TBM, just to mention a few. The current add-on I'm using at the moment is the Protest Sims new dual action Boeing 737 add-on for the Honeycomb Bravo, which features a detent flap and speed brakes. This really improves the immersion and realism of my flights. For ausflightsimmer viewers, you can use this code AUSFS on checkout for a 15% discount on all Protest Simmer products. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can check out their page, and a big thank you to our friends over at Protest Sims for sponsoring this video. Lining up the runway for this week's Sim Update news. Sim Update 12 was finally released, and by now most simmers have downloaded the new update. A quick recap of the main features for this update included a WASM for Xbox, helicopter improvements, firmware improvements, AI traffic improvements, stability improvements, default aircraft updates, and world content updates. Jorg Newman, who is the CEO of Flight Sim, mentioned on the live development stream, when it comes to the world update content, the partners all went back to fix many bugs of points of interest, and they are planning to do the same with Sim Update 13 when it comes to bridges. Jorg mentioned that there is tens of thousands of bridges in the sim that they would like to go back and fix and add the same treatment as they've done with this Sim Update. He also had mentioned that Sim Update 13 will be a August release at this stage. As always, we'll leave a link in the description for the full changelog of all the details of Sim Update 12, and I'll leave a link in the description as well for this week's development livestream, where the team went through all the detailed improvements for Sim Update 12. Other points that were covered in this month's development livestream, World Update 13 has been announced, which will be Oceania. Oceania will include 13 countries. Some of these are going to be Micronesia, Fiji, Indonesia, Marshall Islands, Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, and Tonga, just to mention a few. There'll be 28 sovereign territories, including Guam, and Microsoft have included Antarctica and Hawaii in this update as well. World Update 13 will include a new DEM and aerial. There's going to be a massive 14 bespoke airports and airstrips. Some of these are going to be Kona Airport in Hawaii, Bora Bora Airport, and obviously Bora Bora, Gari Airport in Papua New Guinea, Mokal Airport in Micro Indonesia, and Azami Airport, hopefully I said that correctly, in Indonesia as well. A massive 150 points of interest, 45 of these will be included in Hawaii Islands themselves. 3 research bases. Photographic cities are still being confirmed at this stage. He did mention that it's hard to get this data, so they may make up for it with points of interest. There's also going to be 3 landing challenges, 3 bush trips, and 4 discovery flights. Orbex is the developer around most of these assets and the airports of World Update number 13, as they have been involved with many World Updates in the past, including the last one, which was New Zealand. Jorg mentioned when it comes to DEM, particularly around Hawaii, it's in really good detail, and they also had to create new systems within the flight simulator for the poles. In this case, Antarctica, we're going to see more details. I must admit, it seems to be a massive undertaking and probably the biggest world update yet, and it's great to see that the team are stretching and making each update bigger and better than the previous one. Next on the development live stream, that the team has showcased their latest update when it comes to the ATR, which is scheduled to release around the same time as World Update 13, which is in April the 25th. The ATR will be a study level aircraft and will include a full suite of systems, and it has the backing from ATR themselves, who have been part of the beta testing to ensure that this is going to be as close as the real aircraft as possible. Nothing will be in-opt on this one, everything should work, we've been told. Marketplace improvements were another topic of the live stream. The team touched upon major issues that they have taken action upon, including the testing sign-off is now being given to third-party development teams, changing how products are queued on the list for release, e.g. high quality content will be given a priority over lower quality content. This area, the team is hiring out more team members to increase their output and shorten the backlog of third-party product releases on the marketplace. This is something the team have really focused on, because apparently there's about 1,000 products that is on a backlog for release at the moment. This week on the live stream, we got to see an updated development roadmap. This is due to the latest announcements. Some of the changes we haven't mentioned so far that have been updated. One is the next World Update, which will be a World Update 14, will be in May. The next City Update will be in June, alongside the next Aircraft 2 update. And now Sim Update has been mentioned, so it's been scheduled in for around August, which is scheduled for a surprise around about the same time. Could this be the implementation of seasons? That's pure speculation at this point in time, but we'll have to wait to find out. Now that we're a third way through the year, we can really see how the remainder of 2023 is shaping up. Moving on to this week's InSim Marketplace update, which is the first one we've seen since the release of WASM with Sim Update 12. This week we've seen 17 new products. 6 of these are compatible on PC and 11 of these are compatible on Xbox. For our Xbox simmers, we have seen 6 new aircraft available on console this week, and they include the Milviz 310, Topmark F22, the Miltech Osprey, the Milviz PC6 Porter, and FS Reborn's Sting 4. There's also been the Simworks RV10, which is available for both PC and Xbox this week. This is really great to see so many releases for Xbox that we have seen access to the PC audience have had for a while. Now we're seeing the release over console. Other releases this week are made up on bundle pack sceneries and airports.